Wike was on channels this last week. And then Wike, they were asking him, how did you get your millions, all the houses and cars, your Rolls Royce? And he said, my father was general manager. You know what people were asking? If your dad was that rich, how come he didn't have Rolls Royce for himself? That he could buy you Rolls Royce. Apparently, you enter politics and you stole it. Should I say that again? Wike entered politics and stole it. Because there's no salary that they give governors that is worth what he has. Which contract did you do? You are not a contractor. What did you sell? Nothing. Now, look at the irony of this. Wike said that they did one Niger Delta something to Amechi, because Amechi too was claiming, you know, Amechi was the former governor. Amechi was also claiming he has money, that the wife was, they use their own language, like somebody who does business. Like a business guru or something. And that's why they have money. That Amechi is even claiming that the wife has more money than him. Guess what? When Wike now came the next day, Wike said the NSADD, whatever they do for Niger Delta, that they were paying Amechi's wife 4 billion every single month to do training for Niger Delta women. If you have ever had anything Niger Delta women training, raise up your hand. And they were paying your wife 4 billion. Wike said, I heard it, this is not AI, that president, because I think they've written that something to the presidency. He said, if they think he's lying, that president should release it. That if the president release that file, and it's not exactly what he said, that he will resign as FCT minister. That's how sure he is that. For the past years, like maybe about 8 years, they were paying Amechi's wife 4 billion. I'm sure per month, every month, to do a training that they are not doing anything. Nobody has heard it. I'm online. I'm a content creator 2-4. I've not heard it before until that day he said it. So previous governor is attacking the also previous governor, and all of them are exposing themselves. What's going on there? Fraud. 247 fraud. I'm telling you this not because I have interest in politics or I am not shading anybody, not to concern me. Now why Nigeria no go better? Because they keep stealing the money. But you know what that has done to us? It has now positioned us not to know what the real value of wealth is. We now start seeing wealth from the position of fraud. You see wealth from the position of fraud. That's why most of us, we don't want to do anything. We just want to have money. We don't see wealth as value. You know, I'm coming to Power That Create Wealth. I told you we are going to do this for about 3 weeks because there's no way. This is one of my most favorable topics. So now, if I say, let everybody stand up, raise up your right hand, let money come to me, what are we doing? Which money is coming to you? From where? Which account will the money start from? And for what I know, has anybody spoken in tongue one day or done 73 years fasting and prayer and the money just dropped from the sky? Has anybody witnessed that before? Even for people who do miracle money in churches, all this tofu venue, they will recognize it's fake because people now later say it's fake. In heaven. So you think if you now enter heaven, you see GTB, Abi? Or you walk small, you now see UBA. Grace headquarters. Abi, how will money be in heaven? Why? The way, just like I explained to us last week about when we pray to God, how we put the image of God. That's how we put the image of wealth. What wealth indicates. And once you miss that indication, you can never be wealthy. I'm not kidding. I'm saying this with utmost authority. Why? Poor people think it's easy to make money. How do I know? You will always beef somebody who has money, and in your mind you go soon get your own now. You two no go help them. Is that not how we feel? Every time somebody has something or money or something that you don't like the person, in your mind now you go get, and you no go help him, and he go broke. Is that not the equation? Because I told you about somebody we sent money to about 3 weeks ago that we've been looking for. It was one that led us to Christ in 1995. And once we got his number, we looked for him for about 2.5 years old. And then when we got to his number, it was my younger brother that called. And then the first thing he said when I asked him, he was like, he remember also that God never answered him. That if God answered him, say, for my dad paid his WAEC fee, the time we usually give him food. So he remembered the good deeds we did when we were young. And then in his mind, if he has money, he will still help us, because it's not like we were rich that time. So it was not like telling my brother that if God answered and he's still praying, that we did not forget the good deeds, that he will repay, that will help us. My brother and I said, it's okay, God will do it. Said your account number first. So you see, when the barrier of alert, bam, boom, boom. I said, what did he say? Because I didn't call him, because I don't want a repeat of it. If that's the thing with money. I think he got about 700 from what we did, but at the end of it all, that 700 we finished before September, October. Because when I called my younger brother, I said, what did he say afterwards? He said, as if you people know that nothing is of God that is in trouble. So we use the money to satisfy the trouble. What happens by February next year? We enter another trouble, because the human needs will never finish. It's continuous. Let me tell you one thing. At the end of it all, you will be convinced that there is a spiritual power that is making you poor. Am I right? You will be convinced that people who have money have a spiritual backing that makes them rich. Am I right? Sometimes the woman of God even told me that there are family curses that allows the same family to remain poor. Am I right? So I told her, ma, there is no family curse, not one, that exists in this generation. Zero. If you believe there is no family curse, let me see your hand up. No family curse. Let me explain it. Because I told her, because at some point, and people are going to that church. You see what I'm saying? So if pastor believes, say, family curse day from generation to generation to generation. The people that add that in the Bible are people that are cursed by who? By God. That's one that goes from generation. So you are claiming that there is a curse on your grandfather. And very simple, I explained it to my disciples. If you believe in what I'm teaching you today, and you become a pastor in 2 years, what will you be preaching? Exactly what I'm preaching. Is it not so? Because this is a line of action, and is what we call a gospel. If what I am doing is visions, and when we come here, I just tell you, your grandfather is Eukarya, he died in 1962, your mother is, and I'm doing like that, and you now become a pastor under this ministry. Once you go, what will you start doing? Is it a course? Now what happens is, if a poor man raises children, is he going to raise rich children? What will he raise? Poor children. If an unhealthy man raises children, what is he going to raise? Unhealthy. Let me tell you, in our house, we are prone to diabetes. In my house. You know why? Anybody above 60 in our house, they usually get diabetes. My dad struggled with it until he got to about 68. What gave him diabetes? He now went to US. You see all these are nonsense food. He ate it for about 4 or 5 months. He had diabetes there. Now, why do we usually have diabetes in our house? You know, now they will say, your grandfather had it too. Your father too has it. What does it look like now? Like you too, you are possibly they play. I know they get anything. Why? In our house, our grandfather were farmers. The food they eat 24 hours is what? Pounded yam. I'm not joking. In our house when I was in secondary school, we eat pounded yam 5 times in 6 days. Continuous pounded yam. And it's not only pounded yam. You know what will happen again? You're going to eat yam and garden egg in the morning. You eat pounded yam in the afternoon. Then they will warm the remaining pounded yam and eat it in the night. When we wake up the next morning, guess what we are eating? Porridge with yam again. And we are eating like that. The only thing we had access to was the yam they plant on the farm. We were poor now. I eat rice once in a year, and that's December 25th. There is no miracle. And I drink Coke once in a year too. Is that December 25th? That's when you drink Mirinda those days. And 1 Coke. And 1 rice. That's all. Every other thing is yam, amala. If you do amala, it's still the same yam. You will spread it to dry. You come and use it to make amala. Tell me, which soup do we have in Yoruba? 1. What's Yoruba soup? Which way do that? Okra.
It's 11 o'clock.
For when I married my wife and she did ogbono, I'm like, wait with this. I don't even know. Okra is okra. If your mama like you, go put leaf inside the okra. So sometimes they will make okra white and put stew on it. Sometimes they will mix the red oil with the stew. But it must be okra. So if I lived with my father for 25 years and that's what I eat, what will I have if I don't control it? Diabetes. Diabetes is simple. And then guess what? Once we grow, you will now mandate your wife to start cooking the same thing your mother used to cook for you. Abi? Mama, what's my best food?
Best food like that, but let me say amala with okra.
Say it louder, please.
Amala with okra soup.
Again?
Amala with okra soup.
My best food is still the same. Is it a course? The same thing happens once you talk about wealth. The father that trained us, did he have money? I'm guaranteed if your father has money, you know what you will know? You lack interest in business. If our parents are doing business, what do you think we'll be doing? All the pastors we have in Nigeria, what are their children doing? Someone is saying they are passing it to generation. No. If your dad has filling station, what is your first love of interest? Filling station is not a course, it's continuation of life, because whoever trains you is what you become. So if a poor person trains you, you would have those values that make people poor. That's what you will have. If a rich man trains you, you are going to have what makes you rich, because that's the value he gives.